Welcome back to our channel for your daily dose of daytime drama. Today is a fantastic, beautiful day to dive deep into the latest shocking twists and turns. We have some explosive updates to share with you, so grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let us unpack the thrilling new developments that are about to rock your screens. Let us get right into the heart of the action. The highly anticipated episode of Beyond the Gates, airing on Monday, August 17, promises to deliver a masterclass in psychological warfare, emotional manipulation, and devastating confrontations that will leave viewers completely breathless. As the intricate web of deceit continues to tighten around our favorite characters, we are forced to ask some short, thought-provoking questions to pique your curiosity. Who is lying? What secret is about to be revealed? Which character might betray their loved one in the next episode? The stakes have never been higher, and the impending fallout threatens to alter the landscape of these intertwined families forever, leaving a trail of shattered trust and broken hearts in its wake. The tension reaches an absolute boiling point when the fiercely protective patriarch, Vernon Dupree, storms into the sterile, unforgiving environment of the hospital room where Bill Hamilton currently lies. Vernon is a man driven by an unwavering, almost blinding love for his daughter, Danny Dupree, and he has completely run out of patience for the lingering shadow that Bill continues to cast over her life. Vernon's arrival is not a mere courtesy call. It is a calculated, aggressive confrontation designed to force Bill into a corner. Vernon is absolutely furious, his protective instincts pushed into overdrive, and he is determined to extract the truth from the man he views as a toxic, destabilizing force. The sheer intensity of Vernon's anger fills the hospital room, creating an atmosphere so thick with animosity that it threatens to suffocate the already weakened Bill. As Vernon stands over the hospital bed, he does not mince his words or attempt to hide his disdain. He demands to know, in no uncertain terms, exactly what Bill's true intentions are regarding Danny. Vernon is acutely aware of the magnetic, often destructive pull that exists between Bill and his daughter, and he is terrified that Bill's continued presence will drag Danny back into a cycle of heartbreak and emotional turmoil. Vernon's interrogation is relentless, stripping away any pleasantries and cutting straight to the core of the issue. He views Bill as a relic of a painful past, an obstacle standing in the way of Danny's future happiness. The confrontation is a spectacular display of a father's desperate attempt to shield his child from further harm, even if it means verbally destroying a man who is already fighting for his physical survival against an unseen enemy. The dramatic irony of this entire situation is utterly staggering. While Vernon relentlessly attacks Bill, he simultaneously champions Andre Richardson as the ultimate savior of Danny's heart. Vernon is a massive fan of Andre, genuinely believing that this charming, charismatic man brings nothing but positive joy, stability, and unconditional love into Danny's world. Vernon openly praises Andre to Bill's face, using Andre's supposed virtues as a weapon to highlight Bill's perceived inadequacies. Vernon will do absolutely everything in his considerable power to protect his daughter from Bill and his alleged mind games, completely oblivious to the horrifying, monstrous truth that lurks just beneath Andre's polished exterior. The audience is left screaming at their screens, knowing that Vernon is placing his daughter's fragile heart directly into the hands of a ruthless, calculating psychopath who is actively destroying lives. This brings us back to the chilling questions that define this narrative arc. Who is lying? The answer is Andre Richardson, a man whose entire existence in Genoa City is built upon a foundation of lethal deception. As the timeline recently revealed, Andre's mysterious encounters are not with mere stalkers, but with undercover operatives and former accomplices from a deeply shady criminal past. Andre is the true villain of this story, the secret mastermind who maliciously approached Bill's wife, Haley Hamilton, from the very beginning. Andre expertly stoked Haley's inherent greed and deep-seated dissatisfaction with her marriage, manipulating her vulnerabilities to serve his own dark agenda. Vernon's blind faith in Andre is a tragic testament to Andre's terrifying ability to manipulate the perceptions of everyone around him, projecting the image of a perfect gentleman while secretly orchestrating a cold-blooded murder right under their noses. The depths of Andre's malevolence are truly unfathomable. He did not merely encourage Haley's dark thoughts. He actively provided the sinister hints and the lethal resources necessary for Haley to meticulously plan and execute the poisoning of her own husband. Andre's ultimate goal is chillingly clear and ruthlessly ambitious. He intends to permanently eliminate Bill Hamilton, viewing him as the ultimate rival in both the treacherous arena of corporate power and the delicate battlefield of romantic love. By orchestrating Bill's agonizing demise, Andre plans to seize a significant portion of Bill's vast wealth and solidify his own dominant position in the societal hierarchy. He wants Bill's money, his status, and most importantly, he wants Danny Dupree all to himself, free from the lingering complications of her past attachments and the protective gaze of her father. As Vernon continues his verbal assault, the possibility arises that Andre Richardson himself will step into that hospital room, boldly confronting Bill face to face. Empowered by Vernon's unwavering approval, Andre might seize this golden opportunity to publicly declare his romantic relationship with Danny, twisting the knife into Bill's already fragile emotional state. Andre's presence in the room would transform the confrontation into a masterclass of psychological torture. He would stand there, radiating fake concern and polite dominance, all while secretly relishing the sight of the man he is actively murdering. This public declaration would not only humiliate Bill, but also solidify Andre's position in Vernon's eyes as the definitive, protective partner that Danny truly deserves. It is a sickening display of Machiavellian brilliance that leaves the audience utterly captivated and deeply disturbed by his sheer audacity. However, Bill Hamilton is not a man who will go down without a fight, even as his physical health rapidly deteriorates due to the poison coursing through his veins. Bill has survived multiple near-death experiences in recent days, demonstrating a resilient, stubborn will to live that continually frustrates Andre and Haley's sinister timeline. Lying in that hospital bed, listening to Vernon's accusations and potentially enduring Andre's smug superiority, Bill's mind is racing. What secret is about to be revealed? Bill holds a highly explosive piece of information, the shocking truth of his passionate one-night stand with Danny during the terrifying tornado. If pushed to the absolute brink, Bill might unleash this devastating secret, detonating a metaphorical bomb in the middle of the hospital room that would instantly shatter Andre's carefully constructed illusion of a perfect romance and expose the cracks in their relationship. The complexities of the August 17 episode extend far beyond the claustrophobic walls of Bill's hospital room. Andre Richardson is about to face a massive, unavoidable collision with his own dark history. Fans have been eagerly waiting to see Andre interact with the enigmatic Heather Armstrong, and this episode finally delivers that highly anticipated confrontation. The arrival of Heather introduces a chaotic, unpredictable variable into Andre's meticulously planned conspiracy. Will the audience finally gain a clear, unvarnished understanding of the true nature of their relationship? Heather represents the ghosts of Andre's shady past, a living, breathing connection to the criminal underworld he has tried so desperately to conceal from Danny and Vernon. Her presence in town is a ticking time bomb that threatens to expose every single one of Andre's lethal lies and dismantle his entire operation. The interaction between Andre and Heather is guaranteed to be fraught with palpable, suffocating tension. Is Heather the undercover agent or the former accomplice mentioned in the recent timeline updates? Does she possess the definitive proof of Andre's involvement in the plot to poison Bill Hamilton? As they lock eyes, the unspoken history between them will speak volumes. Andre, usually so composed and in control, will find himself on the defensive, forced to navigate a treacherous conversation where one wrong word could lead to his absolute ruin. Heather holds incredible leverage over him, and her demands, whether for money, power, or revenge, will force Andre to make increasingly desperate and reckless decisions to keep her silenced and maintain his pristine facade. The psychological warfare between these two characters will undoubtedly be a highlight of the episode, showcasing a battle of wits. Meanwhile, the collateral damage of Andre's scheme is beginning to manifest in alarming ways. Danny Dupree, despite her deep affection for Andre, is not a fool. She is starting to notice the highly unusual, deeply disturbing circumstances surrounding Bill's sudden and rapid physical decline. Her intuition is whispering that something is fundamentally wrong, and her lingering feelings for Bill are pushing her to look closer at the medical mystery unfolding before her eyes. As Danny begins to ask questions and demand answers from the medical staff and from Haley, she unknowingly steps onto a path that leads directly to the horrifying truth about the man she is currently dating. The tragic irony is that Danny's quest to understand what is happening to Bill may ultimately destroy her own heart, when she discovers Andre's monstrous betrayal and the depths of his deception. The chaos is further amplified by the escalating cat-and-mouse game playing out between Bill's treacherous wife, Haley Hamilton, and his highly observant assistant, Caroline Lee. Caroline has always been sharp, and she is beginning to see right through Haley's facade of the grieving, concerned spouse. Caroline is detecting the subtle, malicious manipulation in Haley's actions, recognizing a darkness in the woman she once considered a friend. As Caroline digs deeper into Haley's recent activities, searching for any scrap of information that could explain Bill's mysterious illness, she poses a massive threat to the entire conspiracy. If Caroline uncovers the poison, or if she traces the lethal resources back to Andre Richardson, the entire house of cards will come crashing down in spectacular fashion. The tension in this secondary storyline perfectly mirrors the high-stakes drama unfolding in the hospital room. This brings us to the most agonizing and suspenseful question of all. Which character might betray their loved one in the next episode? The possibilities are endless and utterly terrifying. Will Haley, feeling the immense pressure of Caroline's investigation and Bill's stubborn survival, crack under the strain and betray Andre to save herself from a lengthy prison sentence? Will Heather Armstrong betray her former accomplice, deciding that exposing Andre's murderous plot is more lucrative or satisfying than keeping his secrets hidden in the shadows? Or perhaps the most heartbreaking betrayal of all will come from Danny Dupree. If Danny uncovers the truth about the poisoning, will she betray her father's absolute trust in Andre, shattering Vernon's worldview to save the life of the man Vernon despises the most? The emotional fallout from any of these betrayals will be catastrophic for everyone involved. The psychological depth of these characters is what makes this narrative arc such a compelling, addictive viewing experience. Andre's ability to compartmentalize his sociopathic tendencies while projecting the aura of a perfect gentleman is a terrifying study in manipulation. Vernon's blinding fatherly love, which makes him completely susceptible to Andre's charms, while simultaneously turning him into a hostile antagonist toward Bill, is a tragic flaw that will inevitably lead to his own emotional devastation. Bill's vulnerability, trapped in a failing body while surrounded by enemies disguised as family and friends, creates an atmosphere of suffocating suspense. Every conversation is a battlefield, every glance is loaded with hidden meaning, and every decision carries the weight of life and death, forcing the audience to analyze every subtle shift in power. As we prepare for the explosive events of Monday, August 17, the stage is perfectly set for a series of revelations that will forever alter the trajectories of the Richardson, Dupree, and Hamilton families. The collision of Andre's dark past with his ambitious present, the fiery confrontation between Vernon and Bill, and the creeping, undeniable suspicions of Danny and Caroline create a perfect storm of daytime drama. We are left on the edge of our seats, eagerly anticipating the moment when the masks finally slip and the ugly, unvarnished truth is exposed to the harsh light of day. Who is lying? What secret is about to be revealed? Which character might betray their loved one in the next episode? Tune in to find out, because in this town, trust is the most dangerous liability of all, and survival depends on staying one step ahead of the people who claim to love you the most.